Thanks everybody for coming along. This is working okay? Okay. Can we just take a minute to check that our phones are turned off? Good, good. It's probably going to be mine that'll ring, so yeah, excellent. Excellent. Yep. Okay, how's that? All right. That first piece of music that was playing when we came in, that was written by a composer called Maurice Ravel in 1899. Its original title is French, but the English interpretation of the title is Dance for a Faraway Princess. And I thought that Robyn's a faraway princess now, so I like that music for the introduction. There are some people here that I want to acknowledge. First of all, we arranged a live stream of this service, and in just across the border in Queensland, we've got Steve and Glenda from our four-wheel drive club days. Steve and Glenda, you might recognise Peter Gillen sitting over there, and Bob and Ma and Bayliss there. And in Victoria, we've got very good friends, Rod and Pauline, watching from Victoria. They're also go back to our four-wheel drive club days. We've got one of Robyn's friends from primary school days here, Vicky, sitting just there, and another friend, Chris, is watching on the live stream from the northern suburbs in Perth. Also, I want to mention a couple of people here. We've got Diane and Angelina down there. They're one of many people who were down at the Mandurah Community Aged Care Centre who were looking after Robyn. Now, I can't thank them enough. They're just wonderful people. The place is overflowing with kindness, and these are the people who kept the smile on Robyn's face when she had forgotten everything else. So look, if you get the chance after the service, just give them a big hug, because they are angels on earth. Okay, just a little bit of Robyn's background. She was born in Bunbury. Her mother's maiden name was Clifton. She was part of the pioneering Clifton family who settled in Australind and up the Collie River. Lake Clifton is down there. Some of her ancestors were Marshall Waller Clifton. He was one of the first MLCs in the WA state government from the Clifton family. Also, John Septimus Roe was an early significant explorer and the state's first Surveyor General. Roe Highway, Roe Lands, all from his surname. Soon after Robyn's birth, the family moved up to Scarborough, where she lived all through primary school and her teen years until I met her and we started adventurising. Now I'll just move this here a little bit so I can see the photographs as well. Okay, Daryl, the next photograph, thanks. Okay, I found some of these photographs of Robyn when she was quite young. This is in primary school. There's a big map of Australia behind her. Little did she know back then that she would have covered most of that map later in life. Okay, next photo, please. There's another one of beautiful Robyn. She's just beautiful. Next, please, Daryl. Now, this photograph here, this was taken when she was, I would say, about 8 or 9. It was actually on the Rockingham foreshore. And it's half of the next photograph, please, Daryl. Now that's Robyn and Vicky. Robyn's got her arm around Vicky, a friendship she valued all her life. Now I want you to pay particular attention to the smile on Robyn's face, because she was just so happy to be with her friend Vicky. Now we'll go to the next photograph, which was taken 70 years later. And that's testimony of that wonderful, wonderful friendship. Thanks, Vicky, for being such a good friend. And Chris, I hope you're watching. Thank you too for being such a good friend. And that's a fabulous photograph. Next, please. That was taken at the Governor's Ball. I believe Robyn must have been about 17 or 18 then, before I met her. But a young debutante, beautiful young lady. Next, thanks, Daryl. Now this is Robyn on her horse Jeannie. This is where Chris and Robyn's friendship blossomed. They were both in a pony club in Osborne Park, and Robyn's father had stables up in Osborne Park when there was plenty of land up there to do that sort of thing. But such self-confidence. I tried sitting on a horse once, I couldn't get off fast enough. Next, please, Daryl. There we have another photograph of Robyn in her teen years, just blossoming into a beautiful young lady. Next, thanks. This, I think, was leading up to, I think it was leading up to Robyn's 20th birthday. Next, please, Daryl. And this was when Robyn was bridesmaid for Vicky. The friendship was much appreciated back then and now. Next, thanks, Daryl. Now this was at a ball in Perth. I forget which one it was, but looking just beautiful again. Next, please, Daryl. Yep, there we are, the ball gown. Such a lovely young lady. Next, please. And there's the photograph that we used at the start of the slideshow. Just a beautiful, beautiful girl. Next, please, Daryl. Okay. I've been trying to work out who that bloke is. He seems to have more hair and less gut, and I'm just trying to work out what went wrong between then and now. But I think there might be a passing resemblance with my son over there. I'll have to hold him down and shave his beard off and see if he looks the same. Next, thanks, Daryl. Okay, now we're leading into our wedding. Such a beautiful bride. Next. Isn't she just a sweetheart? Next, please, Daryl. She's gorgeous. I was such a lucky man, just such a lucky man. Next, thanks, Daryl. We are cutting the cake. We got married in September 1971 in Scarborough. Some great memories there. Next, thanks, Daryl. It seems so long ago in some respects, but in other respects it's like yesterday. Next, thanks, Daryl. I'm a lucky man, let me tell you. Next, please, Daryl. Such a beautiful girl. Next, please, Daryl. We had our wedding reception at what was then, I forget what it was called then, but it became the Mount Hospital. But back then it was a hotel and reception centre. Next, please, Daryl. Very nice. Thank you, Daryl. I can't believe the regular size clothes used to fit me at one stage. It all went downhill, literally. Stopped at my waistline. Next, thanks, Daryl. So, I'll just talk about the lead up to this photograph. After 3 days after we got married, we drove east in an XT Falcon. We crossed the then unsealed section, 300 k's of unsealed section on the Nullarbor, north of where it is now. We drove that section at night, knocked on the door of a motel in Ceduna at 1 o'clock in the morning looking for a room. I can't believe how we did this. I don't think I even knew how to change a flat tyre back then, but we were quite happily scooting across the unsealed Nullarbor. When we came back from doing my ATC course in Melbourne, I was at Perth Airport for a couple of years, 18 months or 2 years, and then applied for a transfer up to Papua New Guinea. This was our first posting up there at Goroka in the Eastern Highlands. That was 5,000 feet above sea level. And that's on the upper deck of the Bird of Paradise Hotel on the main street of Goroka. There's a hint of Michael developing there. That was in December 74 we moved up there. And next photo please, Daryl. And in June 75 this little guy arrived. It was an interesting experience having babies in the local hospital in Goroka. Some people might think, why did you have your children up there? Well, we just didn't know any better, basically. Some of the expat wives flew home to have their children. But one of the positive side effects of this is that a lot of the medical staff up there were actually very, very experienced, and they were up there doing their tropical medicine training. So we were actually blessed with some very, very qualified staff for the delivery. Next, please, Daryl. So this is still in Goroka. Each year in Goroka they would have what they call the Goroka Sing Sing, which is all the local villages used to come to the local sports oval. Massive, thousands of people. And I took this photograph of Robyn and Michael with one of the local chiefs. I actually posted this on a PNG Facebook page a few years ago, and some people recognised this chap. Next, please, Daryl. So there's happy little smiling Michael, always smiling, always happy. Next, please, Daryl. Oop, I saw Mother kissing Santa Claus. This was in Goroka. I was commandeered somehow because I was the only person who fitted the Santa suit to be Santa. Next, please, Daryl. So there's little smiley Michael again. Always happy. And beautiful mum. Next, please, Daryl. So in 1976 we moved to the north coast to Madang, which was, back then it was a tropical paradise. The little local village had some sort of ceremony happening. They were celebrating something, but they came marched past the house and we came out to have a look. You might notice a little blitz on Michael's bottom lip. He was climbing on a chair in the lounge room and fell off it and hit the corner of a speaker box on his bottom lip there. I think it was the first time he hadn't smiled for a long time. Next, please, Daryl. So that's in the backyard, I think, in Madang. Next, please. Now, you may notice the impending arrival of our daughter Elizabeth there. That was after we had moved to Ley on the east coast. Next, please, Daryl. There's beautiful Robyn. Yep, there's more than a hint of Elizabeth's arrival there. Next, please, Daryl. And here's Elizabeth, born in Ley in 1978. Next, please, Daryl. So, not long after Elizabeth was born, our 4 years in New Guinea was up, so we came home, and this was down at we had a Christmas down at my parents' place in Safety Bay. And that's Elizabeth. I think the most treasured present she had there was that packet of Smarties. Next, please, Daryl. Now, this photograph in particular just shows how much Robyn loved her kids. There's Elizabeth wondering what on earth that thing is on her head, and Robyn's just reassuring her that everything's okay, and it's a beautiful photograph. Next, please. There's some more photographs at the same Christmas event down at Safety Bay. Unwrapping some prezzies. Next, please. There's the treasured packet of Smarties and our little girl. Next, please. Yeah, she was so enjoyed her kiddies so much. Next, please, Daryl. There's Michael with his treasure bag, still with a big smile. Next, please. I don't think I can remember a day when Michael wasn't smiling. Next, please. Yay. Smart, and some Tic Tacs by the look. Very happy. Next, please. And here's another photograph of Vicky and Robyn. I think this must have been in their 30s or thereabouts. Next, please. And that's half of that photograph with Robyn wearing her Norway jumper. Next, please. Here we go. Elizabeth's probably wondering why you keep putting things on my head. Next, please. Here we go. Such a beautiful lady. Next, please. There's the four of us. I would have had to have been in the early 80s, middle 80s at some stage. Next, please. There we are, mischievous little Lizzie, smiling for the camera. Next, please. This was on Robyn's 40th. Next, please. Oh, this was attending a St Patrick's Day party up in Perth, all dressed up in green. Next, please. Oh, this was, we started adventurising. We did a lot of camping and bush camping and tenting and things with our four-wheel drive club friends in the mid-80s up until we moved down here. And after we retired down here, we started running around Australia in a caravan. Now this was on a trip out to the Great Barrier Reef, and we went down to feed the fish and explore, etc., etc. I can remember sending this to the kids, and Michael said, "Surely that's Photoshop, Dad." But that's really us down there under the water. Next, please. Here we are at the Nindagully pub in just north of Innisfail in Queensland. We loved Queensland. Tropical North Queensland was just fantastic. They had quite a few acres surrounding this pub, and you could park up your caravan and just walk to the pub. It was very nice. Next, please. Robyn liked the odd little flutter on the poker machines. This was at Kazali's Club in Cairns. I can remember we met some caravanning people. We didn't know them before, but we chummed up with them at one of these clubs, and the gentleman there gave his wife $100 or so to go and play on the poker machines. And not to be outdone, I handed Robyn $5 and said, bring back some change. And the bloke's face, he couldn't believe it. Next, please. Our trips, I think everybody who caravans is guilty of this. It became a tour of the nation's bakeries. This was up in Mareeba, up in the highlands behind Cairns. Look at all those goodies, very nice. Next, please. Tropical North Queensland had some fabulous places. This is actually the root system on a tree that they come down from halfway up this enormous tree. I don't know how it survives, but it was massive. Very, very interesting. Rainforest country. Next, please. This was on the beach at Mission Beach, just south of Cairns. You didn't want to venture too far into the water because there are big snapping lizards in the water. You just wanted to be a little bit careful. Next, please. This was at the Qantas Museum in Longreach in Queensland. It was almost a compulsory photograph to stand in the engine intake and stretch your arms and legs out like that. Next, please. This was up in Kuranda, up in the mountains inland of Cairns. Kuranda is what Kalamunda could be if it had a huge amount of rain every year. This was just tropical lush jungle up there, and they had a bird sanctuary and a few other attractions like that. And that's Robyn making sure that she didn't get pecked by that big parrot. If you let them get on your left hand, apparently they would just snap off the winding bezel on your watch before you even knew it. You'd lost the winding bezel. So Robyn was not going to use her left hand. Next, please. This was in Broken Hill. There were some carvings out in the desert in Broken Hill. Very, very interesting town. Very interesting indeed. You can see a couple more behind there. Next, please. This was on the Murray River at Renmark. Looks like we just visited the bakery there too. Next, please. This was a rest stop just west of Cobar in New South Wales on the Barrier Highway. This was called Meadow Glens, and beautiful rest stop. We camped there on a few occasions, and on this occasion there were a whole bunch of birds. I'm trying to think of their names, but they were chattering. They always chatted away like they were some busy little family discussing all sorts of things. Looked like it was a cold day too. Next, please. We did a lap of Mount Panorama in Bathurst. That's a public road, so you can go on it, but it's a 60km/h speed limit, so you don't want to think you're Peter Brock hooning around the place. You can see it spread out right down there behind. Next, please. And this was overlooking the Bunda Cliffs on the Nullarbor. A lot of people look upon the drive across the Nullarbor as a bit boring, but it is not boring, believe me. Next, please. This was out at in the northeastern wheat belt just here in WA. That was at a place called Bearing Booding Rock. Very interesting rock. There's a big water tank on one end of it, massive water tank built in the 1930s. Beautiful setup and a very nice campground too. Next please. This was on our last trip in 23. We camped up in the hills behind Madura Pass. That's where the road goes down, quite a drop onto the flats, and then you go for several kilometres, then you climb up again to Eucla, where the border is with South Australia. And we could sit there and watch all the traffic on the highway down below. Very nice spot. Next, please. So that's our travels in the caravan. We did our first crossing 3 days after we got married, and by the time we came back from our last crossing 3 years ago, we had crossed the Nullarbor 28 times by road. Fabulous adventures. We would catch up with friends, then travel by ourselves, catch up with friends, travel by ourselves. The best thing about the whole caravanning adventure was that Robyn was right by my side all the time. It was terrific. Okay, next photograph, please. Now these photographs were taken down at Dawesville at the Mandurah Community Aged Care place. I'll just talk a little bit about that because it was a real roller coaster ride. I could see what was happening with Robyn on that last caravan trip, and when I started looking into what needed to be done, the bureaucratic hurdles were immense. And a lot of the hurdles put in place were as a consequence of various royal commissions into aged abuse. And I must say, all they did was create more aged abuse. And the aged care system was under such pressure that I probably got Robyn in there a month or so sooner than was necessary, because I had to trick her into going in there, and that was a terrible thing. I did not like that at all. But if I had waited that month, we would have lost her room. We wouldn't have got it. But the upside of this, and you'll see in the next photograph, please, Daryl, Robyn always had this beautiful smile on her face. Can we have the next photograph, please, Daryl? Yep. And that's because the staff, like Diane and Angelina and the others down there, Nurse Nikki, Mandy, there's so many people down there. The place was just overflowing with kindness. Next photograph, please. Still there? Okay, yep. Always smiling. They had little arts and crafts things to do, even though it got to the point where Rob couldn't remember my name. She knew I was somebody that she enjoyed visiting, but always had this beautiful smile on her face because she was looked after so well down there. It was just fabulous. Next photo, please. And this one we'll keep up for the rest of the service because this is Robyn happy, and you couldn't ask for anything else. When she was down there, she was happy. Her memory had almost completely gone, but she was happy and she was smiling. She was there for 10 months. I went down there every day for that 10 months because I knew at some stage I would lose that opportunity. So I made sure I was there every day, and she was just smiling all the time. It was beautiful, beautiful to see. Okay, now this next segment, we're going to have some sprigs of rosemary to place on the coffin. And we can start that second song now, Daryl, and if people would like to come up.
Beneath the quivering leaves, where shelter comes at last, all sadness sinks to rest, or glides into the past, our sweet eyes prisoned now in their soft silken bars. Oh, my love, come, she sleeps beneath the trembling stars. Awake not yet from thy repose, a fair dream spirit hovers near thee, weaving a web of gold and rose through dreamland's happy isles to bear thee. Sleep, love, it is not yet the dawn. Angels guard thee, sweet love, till morn. Far from the noisy throng, by songbirds lulled to rest, where rock the branches high, by breezes soft caressed, softly the days go on, by sorrow all unharmed. Thus may life be to thee a sweet existence charmed. Awake not yet from thy repose, a fair dream spirit hovers near thee, weaving a web of gold and rose through dreamland's happy isles to bear thee. Sleep, love, it is
Okay, I'm sure the angels are guarding Robyn. There's been quite a bit of grief and sadness in the last couple of years. And I think it's time that we leave all that grief and sadness behind here, and when we leave here after the next song finishes, we'll go across to have a coffee in the building next door, and we take with us love and gratitude that Robyn chose us to spend her life with, because we were truly blessed. Now, halfway through this next song, the curtains will close. The final stage of Robyn's journey is that her ashes will be scattered in a garden at a memorial park in Rockingham. Now, this is quite a sad song, but it sort of sums up that I would just want one more chance to put my arms around Robyn, and it'll have to be through this song.
I don't believe in an interventionist God, but I know, darling, that you do. But if I did, I would kneel down and ask him not to intervene when it came to you. Well, not to touch a hair in your head, leave you as you are. If he felt he had to direct you, then direct you into my arms. Into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms. And I don't believe in the existence of angels. Looking at you, I wonder if that's true. But if I did, I would summon them together and ask them to watch over you. Well, to each burn a candle for you, to make bright and clear your path, and to walk like Christ in grace and love and guide you into my arms, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms, oh Lord, into my arms. But I believe in love, and I know that you do too. And I believe in some kind of path, can walk down, me and you. So keep your candles burning, make a journey bright and pure, that you'll keep returning always and evermore. Into my arms, oh Lord, into my